Hello and welcome to another video. It's OT19, more known as Ultimate Gamer 19,000. I'm here today to show you all how to build Kratos with his Chaos Blades in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I know you may be saying, OT, this is clear clickbait. It isn't. You can actually get weapons that are extremely similar to the Blades of Chaos completely for free in extremely early Act 1. Yes, they are pretty damn broken, and I will be showing you how to do that. But first of all, I will be going over this build. Then let's just get right into it. Now, to build Kratos, Kratos is a barbarian. So let's not act like he isn't. Kratos is the definition of your stereotypical barbarian that does barbarian things. Yeah. Now, if you do want to, you could be like me and use potions of strength. But I know some people don't like using potions of strength, which I feel like is quite idiotic because, yeah, there are bloodlust elixirs and stuff like that. But I feel like with this build, you know, because Kratos is usually usually unarmored. He's usually just rocking out with his chest area, usually fully exposed. So I feel like it would be to be loyal to that version of Kratos. We probably should, be having no armor. Which I mean, I will be providing options for armor if you do want to wear it. But yeah, so for this build, we're gonna be taking. I will be assuming you are using potions of strength and hill giant and cloud giant elixirs, because once you get access to cloud giant elixirs, there's really no reason to not just use cloud giant elixirs, because a 29 strength or 27 is extremely OP. So we're getting a 17 constitution, and I think a 16 dexterity, um, overall pretty damn high AC. Now, and then honestly, I think we'll take a 14 wisdom and then a 10 charisma. So then, if this is your main character, you might want to do like a 12-13 type of split. But I think we'll just be taking the wisdom to 14 because Kratos isn't the most wise, but I feel like he can have some type of like god magic protecting him from any trickery or any spells he might be caught in. Alright. So now we'll be going up to level 3. Then I'll be showing you how to get the Blades of Chaos. So for at level 2, as a barbarian, we do have Danger Sense, which grants us advantage on dexterity saving throws against traps, spells, and surface. Very powerful. And we can't be blinded or incapacitated to get them. And then we also do get the famous Reckless Attack, which allows us to attack recklessly. Now for our subclass, lore-wise, Kratos is a berserker. It makes sense that he would be a berserker, but for this build, picking berserker is actually pretty damn useless. So I would recommend to pick Wildheart, but if you do want to be lore accurate, you can pick berserker. But trust me, you'll be screwing yourself over. So for our bestial hearts, we'll be picking bear heart because Kratos is a tank. He resists everything. It's very hard to damage Kratos, so I think making him a bear heart barbarian is, probably makes the most sense. And yeah, at level 3 is when you can unlock the Blades of Chaos. So the way how you do it, you are going to be needing a higher link, any higher link that is a druid, you're going to be needing them to cast a spell, Flame Blade. And then after you cast Flame Blade, you want to dismiss them. Now, this can also be done with the Shadow Blade, and I'm going to see if I can get both Shadow Blade and Flame Blade in one go. So yeah, as you can see, this works with any level Flame Blade. Level 2, level 3, it works with any. I'll be upcasting it to level 6, just because I can. And also, this is max damage. So yeah, this at level 3 will only cost you, 200 gold to do. Because you would have to get the hireling twice to get 2 Blades of Chaos. And yeah, aside from that, it scales very nicely every time. Because I think it's every 2 levels. Yeah, it's every 2 levels. So at level 7, your blades get a bump, and finally level 11 your bait, get that final bump. So as you can see, we'll be casting Flame Blade, then we'll take our Kratos, talk to Sir Fizzlebump. I say I have no more use for you. Yes, return to the Fugal Plane. As you can see, he disappears. Okay, now we talk back to the goat, Withers. Yeah, stop me yammering, old man. We would go, I would like to talk about hirelings. Recruit a hireling, and then you want to recruit the same hireling that you previously dismissed. In my case, it was Sir Fizzlebump, but in your case, it's most likely going to be Danton because he is the hireling that is, just a druid. So here we have Sir Fizzlebump. We're going to click Venture Forth. As you can tell, we now have him, and if we go, okay, oh wow, I nearly lost my channel right there. Hoochie Mama. Nothing was shown YouTube. So as you can see, the Flame Blade and the Shadow Blade are both in his inventory and can be both taken from him. Yeah, easy as that. And now we can equip the blade and use it permanently. As you can see, is now permanently ours. Now, usually you would do that again to get the second one, but for this video, I'm not going to do it again to get the second one because that's kind of annoying. But I'll just equip the Shadow Blade to show you. You can do this twice. You can do so if you want to be a side knife rogue, you can be a side knife rogue. So yeah, you would have the two blades of chaos, and you'll just be swinging them around, destroying your enemies. And as you can see, they deal a metro crap ton of fire damage. They do up to 41 fire damage. Granted, I do have the perfected Helldusk gloves, so let me just get rid of those. But as you can see, they deal 10 to 35 damage, which is pretty damn high, and especially since you attack with them twice, that's pretty strong. And that doesn't cost you or any of your main party members any spell slots at all. It's just, you just get them. And yeah, and these are permanent. You can take a long rest with these bad boys, and they won't go away. You just now permanently have the Blades of Chaos. So yeah, now we'll be getting into the rest of this build, then the armor suggestions, and yeah. So these blades can be unlocked as soon as you get access to Withers, which is usually because I usually get access to Withers by level 2, so by level 3 you are going to be able to cast Flame Blade and do that trick. So yeah, it's a very overpowered tip and can really just kind of mow through most of Act 1. Now at 4th level we do get a feat, and now here's the thing. Since we are dual wielding two weapons, a lot of these feats kind of don't matter to us. But this one's probably important. Elemental Adept. Your spells and attacks ignore resistance to a damage type of your choice. When you cast a spell of that, you cannot roll 1. So I think probably picking Elemental Adept Fire is probably pretty necessary for this build, essentially since we are going to be chugging down elixirs of Hill Giant Strength like it's no one's business, because it truly is no one's business. So I think picking up Elemental Adept Fire as early as possible, just to make it that we can't roll 1s on any of our damage dice, so it's basically the Great Weapon fighting style, completely for free. Well, it's not for free, we also gain resistance. Overall, it's a really good pick. Now at level 5 as a barbarian, we get an extra 10 feet of movement and extra attack, which is very useful because, now we can attack even more with the Blades of Chaos. Now, Kratos may be a barbarian, but he's also an excellent fighter, as we'll be taking a lot more than one level of fighter. Now we'll be taking 2 weapon fighting, so then when we attack with our other Blade of Chaos, we can add our strength modifier. So yeah, at level 7 is usually when I leave Act 2, so I'll go to level 7, then go through the Act 2 armor. And yeah, at level 2, get Action Surge, allowing us to just do even more flurries of blows with our, Blades of Chaos. So yeah, now to go in, as you can see, this build, the armor you'll probably be wearing, I would imagine, is most likely either the Adamantine Scale Mail. I know this is Splint armor. On this save, I didn't have the Scale Mail, sadly. But most likely, you'll be wearing the Adamantine Scale Mail, or straight up just being, naked. In reality, it's really up to you. If you want the more Kratos feel, then most likely you probably will be armorless. But the adamantine scale mail does like make you immune to crits and has other really good effects. So I probably would recommend that. But if you want to, you could be in your camp clothing it with the elegant robes that you can pick up in Act 3 and just be walking around like this, absolutely destroying your foes. But yeah, no, my fault. Yeah, aside from that, this build really doesn't have many items they can use. I mean, in reality, it's kind of just like whatever items you want on a marshal, take them. Like, because this is the thing with this build is there's this build doesn't need any items to really synergize well. Since you have the blades of chaos and how powerful the blades are, like doing I think 3 to 18 damage alone, and you get two of them. So they're the most powerful short sword in the game by a long shot. Even when you reach Act 3, like it's insane. And if something's vulnerable to fire damage, then whew, they're gonna get cooked. But make sure before you fight an enemy, look at the resistances, and if they're immune to fire damage, then maybe you might want to swap it out. Even though we do have elemental adapt, it doesn't go past immunities. But if they're resistant to fire, don't worry about that. You can still stab them all really well. But if they're immune to it, then yeah, you're kind of cooked. But yeah, honestly, with items, pick whichever items you want. In reality, I don't really feel like there's any must-have items in Act 1 for this build, except for the Blades of Chaos. Aside from them, just pick whatever armor you want to have on your marshal. So, like, if you want to, you could get yourself the Disintegrating Nightwalkers to get yourself Misty Step, which is pretty good on a marshal. You can get yourself the Adamantine Scale Mail, the Caustic Man to add some acid damage to your attacks. Well, I feel like some builds need so many items, but for this build at least, you don't really need any items. You kind of just have the Blades of Execution, and from here on out, just play this as you would play like a fighter barbarian multi-class. It's like, because that's the thing. This build is just a barbarian fighter multi-class, but you're role playing as Kratos, so it's infinitely cooler. Um, Also, if you were to be a Dark Urge, I feel like getting the Deathstalker mantle on this build would be really cool thematics wise, because like it just makes sense. Like Dark Urge Kratos. If you know anything about Kratos, then he fits the Dark Urge vibe. But yeah, now I'll just be teaching you guys how to play to make the rest of this build. So at level 3, we do get our subclass now. You could pick the champion here if you do want to. Um, Usually, if you do take champion, I would recommend taking the half orc race because with half orc having your crits deal so much more damage, so it probably will be good. But if you're not playing a half orc, or even if you aren't, or even if you are playing half orc, still the Battlemaster fighter is just so powerful. And also, Kratos is a master fighter. Like he's still very. He was a Spartan general. Like he's and the god of war at one point. It's in the game name. So he is a very proficient fighter. A battle, a master at battle. Some would say. I think we take trip attack. We take trip, riposte, and then disarming attack. These are the most useful maneuvers in all of Baldur's Gate 3. I've used them way too many times, and I think honestly I will continue to use them. At level 9, we do gain an additional feat. Honestly, you could take something like Defensive Duelist if you want to be able to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class. If you want to, you can do that. You could take something like Tough, because you are Kratos. You are pretty tough, I would imagine. You could take something like Mage Slayer and just rephrase it as like God Slayer. You could take Lucky. You could like honestly with this build, you can honestly just take whatever feats you want, and it'll probably work. I think for this mode, we'll probably we'll get our hold on. Do we have proficiency in Constitution saving throws? Because if we don't, Wait, let me check. Oh, we are proficient in con saves. Okay. Well, hmm. I don't know. I don't see. I think we'll just take tough here. Um, well, I guess if you are going the no armor route, I probably would recommend raising that dexterity or constitution instead of getting tough. So then you can be stronger. Also, this build does not need Auntie Eto's hair, but if you were to get it, I think throw it in your constitution, then take this ASI to get 20 constitution, probably is going to be really powerful. But just taking the tough feat to have an absorbent amount of HP is pretty nice. At level 10, we become level 5 fighter, and now here is a interesting option. If you want to, you could forgo 10 feet of movement, but you would gain an extra feat. So depending on how you like, depending on what you want, you can forgo 10 feet of movement and I think one extra rage charge, if I'm not mistaken, for a whole additional feat. I personally think it's not worth it because at level 10, both of your class fighter, you would now be getting extra attack from fighter. So in reality, that's your choice. I would not recommend it. I think that's a bad choice. But again, you can make it. I mean, I feel like with this build, we still get enough feats. So we will just be increasing our constitution. If you were to get Antietos hair, having 20 constitution would probably just make your even HP even that much higher. At level 7 or level 11, we do gain some. No, this is actually level 12, my bad. The last level was level 11. At level 12, we do get 2 more maneuvers. And honestly, take whichever ones you like. We'll take menacing hmm, and fainting attack because maybe you have a rogue in the party that would really benefit from having advantage. Maybe the God of War has teamed up with Astarion. Why? Man, get out of here. So, I kind of skipped over the whole Act 2 items. Again, pick whichever items you like. Now, for Act 3, there are some items which I do recommend getting. The Helda's Gloves. More fire damage, your Blades of Chaos become even more chaosy. um, Helmet of Baldurin can help you have that godlike durability, gaining crits don't land on you, healing, +1 to armor class and saving throws. It can really give you like that godlike durability that Kratos has, or you can work Servox Horned Helmet, which I mean, it makes sense. Which gives you dark vision, you can't be frightened, and your crit chance is lowered. So 19 crit. Also, the Amulet of Greater Health, if you are picking the armor's list side of this build, would greatly increase your armor class. Oh man, why is my armor not setting? Um, am I missing? Oh, this is me. That's me. Yeah, you'd have a 19 armor class, which it is one less than wearing the armor of agility. So, if you didn't want to go the no armor route, then you know, getting the amulet to greater health is very important. Also, having 178 HP really is Kratos like, because he does kind of have that almost endless durability. It feels that he just continuously takes more and more hits, but still is up and up and up. But we will be testing on Surface of Bump. He did consent to this, by the way. So look at the Far Realms. As you can see, we did some nice damage. 53 points of yeah. As you can see, when you combine that stuff like Cold Weak and just overall other elected powers, you can definitely tell that this build can get pretty nutty pretty quickly. And also the Ray of Fire cantrip that is granted by the Helldust Gloves can be used as, kind of you throwing your Blades of Chaos at someone. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today's build. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave any recommendations for this build down below. Leave any tips or tricks you have for this build. Leave any build requests you may have. But yeah, that's all from your boy OT19 signing out. Peace.